Hello everyone, it's MacLeod Musings here, and welcome to Brew It or Bin It. In this series, I'll be going through all of the new legendary creatures introduced in a given set, and telling you whether you should brew a commander deck around them, or chuck them away in the bin. These rankings are primarily about fun factor and novelty, and while power is relevant, it's absolutely not the only thing that matters here. These are of course also all my own highly subjective opinions, and I'll be delighted to hear your own takes down in the comments. With all that said, it's time for the inaugural Outlaws of Thunder Junction episode of Brew It or Bin It. Let's go! Fortune Loyal Steed. There are a million Blink commanders way more interesting than this card. Bin it. Fibblethip Lost on the Range. Dig through your library while slotting everyone's favourite homunculus into your command zone. Brew it. Geralf the Fleshwright. Mono blue zombies is an inherently awesome theme. Brew it. Gisa the Hellraiser. Mono black zombies isn't quite as novel or exciting, but this is still a powerful commander for a popular creature type. Brew it. Kervek the Punisher. This card offers an absolutely ridiculous amount of graveyard recursion. Brew it. Tiny Bones the Pickpocket. This card is as powerful as it is adorable, and it is so adorable. Brew it. Vadmir New Blood. The once per turn limit on this card's effect takes it from being absolutely incredible to being completely forgettable in a single swoop. Bin it. Calamity Galloping Inferno. What if Delina Wildmage was also a giant, screaming, flaming horse? Yes. Absolutely yes. Brew it. Magda the Hordemaster. Magda's back, and she's turning treasures into dragons again. Brew it. Bristly Bill Spine Sower. I think this card has the potential to be powerful, but I just feel it's so boring. Bin it. Gem Lightfoot Sky Explorer. Gem seems lovely, but this is a card for limited, not for commander. Bin it. Lazav Familiar Stranger. The wanted posters with glowing blue eyes in the background of this card are so cool. The card, conversely, is the most boring iteration of Lazav we've ever seen. Bin it. Satoru the Infiltrator. Mark my words, people are going to be brewing stuff that is completely buck wild with Satoru. Plus, he's a ninja. Brew it. Akul the Unrepentant. Rakdos sacrifices a very played out theme, but Akul offers an interesting twist, encouraging you to load your deck with both high and low power creatures. Brew it. Laughing Jasper Flint. Commanders that steal your opponent's stuff always sound way more fun to play in theory than they turn out to be in practice. Bin it. Rakdos the Muscle. While Rakdos also steals your opponent's stuff, he has the advantage of also being a giant demon and an iconic magic character. Brew it. Vile Smasher Gleeful Grenadier. This card honestly appeals to me more as an outlaw typal commander than the one leading the precon. A simple but effective design. Brew it. Jolene Plundering Pugilist. Oh Jolene, how far you've fallen since your New Capenna days. I'm begging of you, please don't play this card. Bin it. Roxanne Starfall Savant. An anthropomorphic cat druid that keeps chucking meteors everywhere. Colour me intrigued. Brew it. Miriam Herd Whisperer. A mountain vehicle typal commander, but unfortunately I don't think Miriam really does enough that's truly exciting to really be interesting. Bin it. Selvala Eager Trailblazer. This card encourages you to use the mercenary tokens it creates to fiddle with the powers of the creatures you've got in play in exchange for big mana payouts. Brew it. Wily Duke Atin Hero. Amara Tandis' big brother. Putting this card at the centre of an engine that taps and untaps it over and over again sounds like great fun. Brew it. Baron Bertram Greywater. More like Baron Bertram Lame Water. Bin it. Yeah! Kambal Profiteering Mayor. Do you see that, Baron Bertram? This is how you do an Order of Tokens commander. Brew it. Breaches the Blast Maker. Mix together large spells and small artifacts for big fun. Brew it. Eris, Roar of the Storm. Eris, like Akul, is an overplayed theme, in this case Izzet Spellslinger, executed in a compelling way. Brew it. Crom, Violent Cacophony. Crom, meanwhile, is just another forgettable Izzet Spellslinger commander amidst a sea of hundreds of more exciting counterparts. Bin it. Lila, Undefeated Slickshot. And just like that, we're back. Lila rebounds with an interesting recursive spin on multicolour spell slinging. Brew it. Malcolm the Eyes. Although this card may investigate, I don't have a clue why you'd want to play it. Bin it. Stella Lee Wildcard. This card is the centrepiece of numerous wacky combos and it's already seeing CEDH play. Brew it. Honest Rutstein. If I'm being honest, this card is way too low impact to bother putting in the command zone. Bin it. The Gitrog. Ravenous Ride. Who could say no to this giant murder frog? Brew it. Vraska the Silencer. This card's a lot more interesting than it initially appears to be. Remember, the cards it steals for you still retain their abilities even if they're no longer creatures. Brew it. Bruce Tarl, Roving Rancher. Do have a cow man. In fact, have lots of cows, with double strike. Brew it. Eartha Joe, Frontier Mentor. This card's second ability opens up so many fascinating deck building options. Brew it. Tywin Keen, Perfect Shot. I am actually putting together a Tywin Keen deck myself. A part of me worries this card might be absolutely miserable to play with, but all the same, I'm really excited to try. Brew it. Bonnie Pal Clearcutter. This card provides roughly 12-11 worth of stats for 6 mana, but I feel that for all of its power, it doesn't really bring anything new to the Simic landfall table, so personally, I would bin it. Doc Orlok, Grizzled Genius. Orlok gets your brain whirling. Mush together some adventure cards, some flashback cards, and some new plot cards, and you'll certainly have something entertaining to show for it. Brew it. Ariette the Beguiler. This version of Ariette is much weaker than her Wild's Veil Drain counterpart, and much less interesting. Bin it. Marchesa, Dealer of Death. While it is a bit weird seeing Marchesa in a cowboy hat rather than a crown, the Queen of Fiora seems really good at loading up both your hand and your graveyard through the power of committing crimes. Brew it. Obeka, Splitter of Seconds. Just like Obeka's first printing, this card enables some really unique decks. Load as many upkeep triggers in there as you can and pop off. Brew it. Annie Flash the Veteran. I want to love this commander, but I just don't feel Annie Flash, despite having 2 paragraphs of rules text, does enough to justify costing 6 mana in 2024. Bin it. Girud, Mirror of the Wilds. Make giant creature tokens and then clone them using tiny non-token creatures. What's not to love? Brew it. Kiri, Talented Sprout. Plant and Treefolk Typal card. Commanders for weird creature types are almost always a blast. Brew it. Yuma, Proud Protector. Fill your graveyard with deserts to fill your board with angry warrior cacti. Brew it. Kellen the Kid. Oko's son got strong. Brew it. Olivia, Opulent Outlaw. Like I said earlier, I prefer Vial Smasher, but Olivia seems like a fun Outlaw typal commander. Brew it. Vihan, Goldwaker. Vihan, however, is more exciting than both Vial Smasher and Olivia. Fill your deck with outlaws and treasures, and then profit. Brew it. Loot, the key to everything. Vraska and Jace's new adopted kid gives you a huge amount of impulse draw. Brew it. Riku of Many Paths. Modal spell typal? I mean, sure, why not? Brew it. Felix 5 Boots. Felix is like Ishin, but they trigger when damage is dealt to other players, rather than attack. They're also a slime cowboy, whilst Ishin is a human samurai. Brew it. Gonti, Canny Acquisitor. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Commanders that steal stuff just aren't as fun as they look. Bin it. So, with 16 commanders to bin versus 36 to brew, that gives Outlaws of Thunder Junction a pass rate of just under 70%. Let's call that a B grade for the set. But what do you think? Do you like this new video format? Did you agree with my takes? Would you want to see me cover more sets in a potential future episode of Brew It or Bin It?